Good evening and thank you for joining us for Kremsen News at 11 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Tonight, with inflation hitting Americans at home and with the war raging in Ukraine, President Biden laid out his plans to confront both in his State of the Union address. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill tonight.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
President Biden entered the House chamber for his first State of the Union address with the focus on the war in Europe. Lawmakers wore blue and yellow ribbons to show their support for Ukraine.
Stand and send an unmistakable signal to the world of Ukraine.
The president announced he's closing U.S. airspace to Russian aircraft following the move of European allies.
Further isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on their economy.
The president also stressed the importance of the NATO alliance in standing up to Russia's unprovoked aggression and Vladimir Putin.
He thought he could divide us at home, in this chamber, in this nation. He thought he could divide us in Europe as well. But Putin was wrong. We are ready.
On the home front, the president took credit for job growth, touted his bipartisan physical infrastructure bill, and laid out his plan to tackle inflation.
Instead of relying on foreign supply chains, let's make it in America.
The president also announced what he's calling a unity agenda, action items for Congress that have bipartisan support, including improving mental health care.
Let's take on mental health, especially among our children whose lives and education have been turned upside down.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds delivered the Republican response.
The president and Democrats in Congress have spent the last year either ignoring the issues facing Americans or making them worse.
President Biden made his case to the nation with an approval rating that's dropped to 44%. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And after the State of the Union tonight, several local lawmakers sharing their reaction. Idaho Governor Brad Little issued a joint statement along with 23 other Republican governors that read in part, quote, Joe Biden ran on promises of uniting the country and restoring America's respect throughout the world, they continued. This administration has put America on a path toward decline. In Washington, Senator Patty Murray also released a statement focusing on the ongoing crisis in Ukraine. She wrote, quote, it's good to see President Biden taking strong steps to hold Russia accountable and that she will look at ways to support the Ukrainian people. For more local lawmaker reaction, just head to our website, which is krem.com. And speaking of Ukraine, in the past few hours, the Ukrainian Interior Minister said at least 10 people have died and dozens more were hurt after a Russian missile slammed into a building in Kharkiv. Russian rockets also destroyed an apartment building where several others died. Ukrainian President Zelensky called the attacks, quote, war crimes, explaining the buildings were not legitimate targets. So coming up in just about 10 minutes, we'll share more on the latest in Ukraine. All right, let's talk weather now. We nearly hit 60 degrees in Spokane today, and I know a lot of people are wondering if we'll see warm temperatures return again tomorrow. For the answer to that question, let's get straight over to meteorologist Michelle Boss.
We are going to see above average temperatures continue for the next several days, but not quite as warm as today. We are going to see more rain, though. We got kind of some dry weather for most of the day today, but rain is returning tonight and will be with us tomorrow as well. You can see on satellite and radar, we already have some scattered showers returning to the region. Spokane Airport reporting some showers right now. Could even see some isolated thunder, especially across North Idaho, where they've already seen more than 2 inches of rain in some spots. So flood watch continues through Wednesday at noon. Currently, we're at 47 degrees. It's going to be mild overnight, 46 in Moses Lake, 50 in Lewiston. We're looking at a high of 50 tomorrow with scattered rain showers, more rain on Thursday, but cooling down and finally drying out by the weekend.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. New tonight, a man has been hit and killed on East Sprague between Myrtle and Havana tonight. According to SPD, EMTs worked to revive the man, but he did not survive. They identified the driver as 47-year-old Jaguar Pierre and said that she was determined to be under the influence at the time, so they arrested her for vehicular homicide. The identity of the victim has not yet been released tonight. All right, now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. We are learning more about the breaking news we first brought to you last night, that deadly shooting in Hauser that left one man dead and another hurt. Well, according to the Cooney County Sheriff's Office, 44-year-old Adam Bennett allegedly shot and killed 77-year-old Dennis Rogers. Deputies also said another man, 55-year-old John Hazel Jr., suffered non-life-threatening injuries in that shooting. According to deputies, Bennett was eventually taken into custody without incident at an asphalt plant near Prairie Avenue and Pleasant View Road, about a mile from the scene. Bennett did have an appearance in court today, but that was for warrants out of Washington. The judge said Bennett may face charges in Kootenai County tomorrow. And today, a jury found Nathan Beal, the man accused of shooting and killing his ex-wife in Browns Addition a year and a half ago, guilty of murder. The jury returned that verdict in just 3 hours. Beal's sentencing for that murder conviction will now be on March 25th. In the meantime, the Spokane County prosecutor also confirmed they are filing a separate murder charge against Beal, and that charge relates to a homeless man that Beal allegedly killed 4 months before murdering his ex-wife. Investigators believe he shot that man for practice. A nuclear site in central Washington was put on lockdown today after reports of an active shooter. Employees at Hanford received a message that read, "Run, hide, fight," as that facility was placed on lockdown due to reports of shots fired in one of the buildings. No one was hurt. Deputies were able to clear the building. They did not find any evidence of a shooting, they said.
To have this kind of event going on, I think every city that's a major city should have this. It's awesome to have this program for everybody to be able to come here and get help that they actually need, because too many people are really afraid to.
A resource for those in our community experiencing homelessness is making a comeback after COVID canceled it last year. That's the Spokane Homeless Connect event. Today, the Spokane Convention Center welcomed people experiencing homelessness and offered free resources like hot food and clothing. Attendees also had access to a COVID vaccine clinic, pet services, legal help, housing assistance, and free food and clothing. Resource booths focused on health, education, and taking next steps to help them navigate out of homelessness. The Spokane Homeless Connect chair says over the past 10 years, she has seen the number of attendees grow from hundreds to thousands. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. Well, new information tonight on the two 14-year-olds who were arrested for attempted murder of 2 people in Lewiston. According to court documents, the pair planned to shoot and kill one of the boys' stepfather and stepsister after the stepfather told them they couldn't go to the park. Court documents show the boy told detectives he regretted not killing his stepsister. Both of the teenage suspects have been charged as adults. The victims survived, but police say they suffered serious and life-threatening injuries. The court documents in this case are pretty compelling. If you'd like to read more about this case, just text us the word crime to 509-448-2000. Also in the Northwest today, record-breaking rainfall across western Washington this week has caused rivers to overflow and flood roads and fields. Seattle saw 3.73 inches of rainfall in just 48 hours. Also, Snoqualmie Falls there surged today after the rain. Well, turning to national news, today people visited New Orleans to celebrate Fat Tuesday. There were parades across the city and marches throughout the French Quarter. Last year, parades were canceled after officials realized that crowds back in 2020 created a super spreader event. This year, masks were required at indoor public places. An advanced weather satellite launched into space from Cape Canaveral, Florida today. This was a joint effort between NASA and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. That satellite will help meteorologists observe and predict local weather events. Pretty cool stuff. The Best of Broadway Schedule is out for the 2022 and 23 season. Theater fans, listen up because season ticket renewals began this morning at 10 o'clock. Hades Town kicks the season off the week of July 5th. Hairspray will be here from September 20th to 25th. Ain't Too Proud, which is a musical about the life and times of the Temptations, will be here in January of next year. Another Tony Award-winning musical called Dear Evan Hansen will be coming March 14th through the 19th of 2023. And last but not least, Aladdin closes out the season at the end of June. New season ticket orders begin coming up this Friday. All right, don't go to bed just yet. We will verify if the United Nations can charge Russian officials with war crimes after Russia attacked a school and an orphanage. Plus, it is Tom Sherry's final week here at KREM 2. Later in the broadcast, we'll share some of the major weather events that Tom has covered in his 32 years here at the station. We're back in just 90 seconds.